Lost Ruins of Arnak, the Expedition Leaders expansion. I don't have the box anymore because I started everything inside the base game, but I've kept this part of the box just to remind me the content. So this is not going to be a true unboxing, but I really wanted to bring this content to the channel. This is from before the time that I had the channel, so I didn't record properly, but nonetheless, I don't want to lose this opportunity. So what you get from this Expedition Leaders expansion, which is the first expansion, you get these 6 new leaders, which makes the game asymmetric when you use the different powers, but also you have new assistants, guardians, more sites that you can mix with the base game, more cards that you can miss, as well as if you want some diversity in your game, you also have these new temples to explore. So you could see in both sides, there's something different. This is the manual from the expansion. It explains the new things, the new leaders. You also have these tokens here to facilitate. If you want to draw randomly, you can just draw from, imagine that 2 players want the same guy, so you can randomly draw that. And then it explains each character. So we'll see each one by one. There's the captain, which I guess it's the guy from the cover of the first game, the base game, I think. The Falconeer, the Baroness, the Professor. So it shows all the components as well as the mechanics that these characters bring. The Explorer and the Mystic, which is a very strange guy that works with fears. Yeah, it goes against what normally is the way of playing. Then there's also explanation about the new research tracks and the difference that they bring. It's not just moving forward the same way. There is some slight differences. The Lizard Temple and the appendix for some of the cards that need to. Oh, and there's also this thing, which let me show you, which is the Red Moon Staff variant. So it differs a bit. You discard at the end of round 1. As it says, you discard the previous one. Oh, it has a symbol here. Okay, just to remind. You discard the previous one, the new one, but also the future one. And then everything slides. You put 2 artifacts and 1. That's the same. And then at the end of round 2, you discard both. It discards the 2 cards before, basically. It's the blue one, you discarded just the previous, and the next one, how you discard 2. So that's something new here. Okay, so now let's see the components that the game has. Starting here in a very easy way, the new boards for the investigation part of the game. So this is a very, very lengthy thing for me to show sideways on the video. Maybe this is a good idea. So it has 2 sides. So the 2 that is mentioned on the manual, you can see on both sides. And what are the differences? So here, for example, there's a monster that you fight. If you want to go through here, the first person needs to fight the monster, which is something we've never seen. Okay. And there's also some changes here on the setup that you need to be aware of. And on this side, there's also artifacts that you could buy. There's an artifact slot here, which is something different as well. Okay. And as a quick look, I think that's it. So a few of the new things that you can add on the base game. So this expansion has 3 new explorers. This one converts money into boots, gives you this or that, or converts boots into money and tablets. Okay, and there's a 4th one, as you can see. And by the way, the components of this expansion, they have this icon here, the eagle icon. This is intended to replace the one from the base game. So this guy it's better than the one on the base game. So you should replace and store the other one. Okay. Then in terms of cards, you have all of these are like items and artifacts. So you have the Cape of Dawn. Again, you have the icon here to be able to separate later on if you need. The pedestal, the one-eye statue, the Guardian's Loot, the Friendship Medallion, the Rod of Division, the Ruby Candle Holder, the Pathfinder's Hat, the Guardian's Fang, Stone Key that fits there to open something, the Stone Candle Holder, the Divine Riders, and the cursed idol. On the item side, again the same icon there. So there's a crowbar, coffee, you wake up a helper, the cabra, the sieve, this is to search for gold, right? Parachute, hammock bed, the first aid kit, the fountain pen, the shovel, the little monkey gives you gold, go figure, the goat, and the toolbox, the airship, 2 planes, and yeah, that's good, that's good. The landing net to get some fish, rations, and the hand lens. Choose 1, 2, or 3 of these. Wow, that doesn't... Depending... Oh, but depending if you are at the beginning of the game, the investigation, 4th row or 7th row of the investigation. Interesting, interesting. So it becomes more powerful throughout the game evolves if you invest on that, right? Then you also have new monsters, new locations, level 1 and level 2. So let's see the monsters first. This kind of armadillo monster. Oh, there's a... no, it's not 2 powers, just 1, but it gets 2 steps there. The armadillo, the centipede, the big, like a queen, this thing here, and oh, that's a crab that lives inside that house, hermit crab or something. Oh, you just get rid of a card and you get 2 tablets. That's not bad, and you can use it when you need only. Locations, yeah, these locations are more the same, different artwork here, but I don't expect... What's that? That's a machine? Looks like a machine there. I don't expect anything that different. It's just, I love this place, it looks so beautiful. Wow, gets a lot, but then you get the fear, which if you go with the shaman is not that bad. You activate the base camp, that's good, that's good. Fear, and yeah, you can even convert immediately into a ruby if you need, and you draw a card. That's a good place to visit. That's it. Let's now look at the new characters one by one to discuss a little bit what they do. Let's start with the Falconeer. So the Falconeer comes up with this token here that you put in this place. So it's called a Falconeer as a profession, but this is an eagle. It's your eagle, as you can see. It's not a falcon, so I'm not sure if the Falconeer is a term that applies to all birds. But anyway, what happens is that in the beginning of each turn, you may move the falcon, the eagle, front, and then there are these slots there, which with the reflection you don't see that much, but you see there's here this slot gives a coin, this gives you this, can activate a sight, etc. But you don't by just going there, you don't activate anything, right? On your turn, you can decide to pull back the falcon, and then you get the one of the rewards from where it was or from the previous one. This means that the idea is that you send the falcon or the eagle to explore, and then it goes, and then when you recall it back, it brings back the reward from the space where it was, or something that the falcon, the eagle saw before. Okay, so that's the idea. You also have here an extra new specific action when you cover these, right? Which is moving the eagle, which moves every turn, and you can also don't use the power of a killed guardian also to move the eagle. Okay, that's it. And then these characters also have specific starter decks that differ from the base ones. So you also get the fears, but then you also get the one that gives gold. The one that gives compass, you can either get the compass or move the eagle if it makes sense. Then on the both side you have this card that if you've killed 0 guardians you get 1 coin. If you've killed 1 you can trash a card, so it cleans the deck very, very quickly. Or if you already killed 3 or more, then you get the gold and you get also the eagle. And this is a cumulative as well, like the eagle. So if you are at this level, you can choose either this one or one of the previous. So it gives us more flexibility in the way you play. And the one with the boat gives you the compass, but also if you discover a new site this turn by using this, you may draw 2 monsters and choose one. Okay, so you have that chance to fight that monster that could be really easy for you to kill and get the 5 points. The Professor is, personally, I think it's a bit of a strange character because it works with artifacts, which is something that I never like to play. So you get this extra action, which you can convert a totem into a coin, an upgrade, and a symbol, compass in the briefcase. That's because you have this token, which is a briefcase, with the Professor's briefcase, and for the setup you get this, and you also get 3 artifacts, which are called your personal collection, right? So the Professor is basically is an archaeologist, a specialist in artifacts, so that's where all the mechanic will come. And another thing that you see is on the setup, you put on in the beginning of the second turn and fourth turn, you put 2 compasses there waiting for you to pick when the game gets there, and then on the third and fifth you also put a tablet. These things, they are in front of this briefcase icon because when you get those resources, they go here, okay? And every resource that goes here, they can only be used to buy artifacts, which are the case of the compasses, or tablets to activate artifacts, which are the case of the artifacts to be activated. You need that. Then the starter deck, the differences. So you get a normal coin, and you also get the one that gives you the compass, but also an upgrade if you need. Then the super strange different cards are this one, which is the number, depending on the number of artifacts you have on your deck, right? Because it's the personal belonging. Sorry, it's not on your deck. It's on, let me correct that. It's on the play area, okay? So the more you play artifacts, the more bonus you could get, right? So if you played 0 artifacts so far, it gives you only 1 coin. If you already played 1 artifact, it gives you a compass that goes here to be used only on artifacts. But if you already played 2 artifacts, then you get the compass and the tablet. So in order for you to play the artifact, you need the tablet. So this is generating tablets in order for you to cover the cost. So it's a bit of a... It goes around and depends on many things, so that's why I don't think this character is as fun as intended. But yeah, it also, the card gives you this compass, and you also may swap 1 artifact in your archive, which is that personal belonging collection, with 1 from the card row. So that personal collection means that this archive, when you buy an artifact, you may buy it from the card row, but also from the personal archive. So those artifacts are there waiting for you. Only you can use them and buy them. And so with this card, you can remove something that looks very good from the card row and keep it for you on your archive in order for you to buy later. Still doesn't look like my type of character. The Captain. So the Captain comes with the 3rd meeple. So basically it means that you have 3 actions, which is, for say, very powerful. There's also an extra thing that you can do, which is instead of going somewhere with it, you can put it here. It means that if you use it on that turn here, you will be able to activate the gray part of an helper. So you still need to have helpers already, and then you transform this guy into an assistant of an helper, and you cannot move it here and put somewhere on the ruins. It stays here until the end of the round. It also comes with this special action, which is generating a green and a plane, besides the normal ones. And this is pretty straightforward, this character. And let's look at the deck. So you also have the coin, you also have the compass, but you can get a conversion between coins into planes. So this Captain is a specialist in flight. Then interesting, you have the accumulation card, which is, so if you already placed 1 guy, when you play this card, you get 1 coin, 2 guys, you get a compass, and if you place the 3rd guy, which includes this, okay, already, it can generate tablets besides the other options if you want. So this is going to be the card that you play last in the game, so allows you to strategically think the order of your actions in order to maximize what you have here. And then, this is all sounding very powerful, so this character comes here with a catch, which is you start the game with a hidden fear. It's a special, different fear. It's worth -2 points, so you need to get rid of this. And when you exile this card, which is the only way you get rid of it, then you get a normal fear and a compass. Okay, so I don't understand what's the lore kind of backstory here, but this hidden fear that the captain has, which is, I don't know, some backstory or whatever, it's a problem that you need to get rid of throughout the game. The Explorer is quite crazy because, first of all, you only have one meeple, one worker, so that's already scary. But the strategy here is that you have these 3 snack tokens, so starting with 2 of them in the beginning of the game, and then the third one gets in the middle of the game. So these snack tokens basically is what makes you move around that single worker that you have. So imagine you go somewhere with your meeple, and then if you want to move it to somewhere else, you leave this where he was, and then you can pick the meeple and put it somewhere else. So, and then the other ones will require you to pay a gold and to pay a compass later on. So basically, you can move 4 times as an explorer if you have enough resources. The first one is free, and then the second one it's free as well. The third one you pay this gold, and the fourth one you pay this compass. Not bad, right? Not bad. So you cannot go back to a place where you already have a snack token, okay? So you cannot continue visiting the same places, and these tokens don't affect the other players, so they can still visit. If you left the place with your meeple and just left the snack there, they can still go there. And you can use these tokens in any order if that makes sense. Okay. Then another change with this is, besides this special action, which is getting compass, gold, and put, the cards from this deck are also a bit specific. There's the gold that everyone has, and then this card also, you see, you get the gold, or you play the card and you use a snack token to activate the power. That's super strange, right? Super strange. I'm not sure if you need to pay. Let me just confirm if you need to pay. No, I think you just I'm not sure if you need to pay. Probably you need to, right? To pay the cost to use it, like if you were using it on the exploration. So for example, here you would be able to get a tablet, and then you can activate one of the idols that are face up in an undiscovered site. So it needs to be a face up one. You will get the bonus. So as an explorer, she explores from a distance, whatever. Then this one is the one that gives you compasses, or if you go here, you can activate a base camp without going there, or going there by putting the meeple there. And so I don't know exactly what the flexibility here is. And the last one is you get that compass, and if you discover a new site this turn, you may draw 2 sites and choose one. Very good. You choose not the monster as we've seen, but you can choose which site is more interesting for you. So the Baroness probably is the counterpart of the Professor because it has a strategy focus on items. So she has here a special card that starts in your hand. So you start with 5 cards and this 4 cards and this one, so 5. It's a special delivery, right? Play this effect when you buy an item to put it directly into your hand. So if you remember from the base game explanation, when you buy an item, it goes straight to discard pile, a la a deck builder game. When you buy an item, but if you buy an artifact, the artifact does the effect and then goes to discard. So with this card and with the Baroness, you can buy items and have them directly go into your hand, which means that you can play them. So it's the same thing, right? It's like immediate effect if you want. So she will be generating or focusing on items. And then because she's the Baroness, she's like funding the expedition. She has money waiting for her on the beginning of each round, starting on the second one. And with the remaining cards, you can get the gold, or you may exile the far left item from the card row and refill it. So if you don't like the far left, let's change it. Get the compass or pay for a ruby. And depending on the number of items that you already played. So this means that they have already be on your play area. None, gold. One, it's these two. If you already have three, you can untap an helper. So that sounds like a very powerful thing. Untap an helper. But for that, you will be needing to put cards, items on the table. So yeah. The thing is that you need some card draw power, because in order to get to these three, considering that you have other cards, unless you are constantly investing on items, which may be a strategy. This kind of characters also scares me, because I don't really know if this works that smoothly. Last but not least, the shaman. This is the craziest character. The board itself is also more difficult to take a look, but let's try. So I guess the board is a bit larger than the other ones because it has this section. This guy is a collector of fears. That's a shaman thing, right? You start your hand with an extra fear, and then throughout the game, every time you exile a fear, instead of those fears going to the fear pile, you start accumulating them here on this fireplace. Then during the game, you can get rid of 2 of the fears to get these resources, 3 of them to get a discount on artifacts, and 4 of them to kill a guardian immediately. Sounds like a big collection of fears. You need to be getting fears somewhere very frequently in order to get rid of them very easily. Not sure how this works, but you can see that here you have these 2 actions which allows you to get rid of cards, and this get rid of cards and activate the power of the fireplace. So it's a good way for you to start exiling fears. And there's this guy also, the shaman also has these 5 slots instead of 4, and if you cover one of these slots you get a fear. If you cover that one, you get also a fear as well there. And if you get the fear and then you exile it with the power by covering, then the fear is the one that gets exiled immediately. That's one part of the rules. Then the deck is also strange. So you get the coin, or you can exile the card, any card, or you can exile this card to activate the fire power. You perform a ritual. So you exile this card to perform a ritual, and then you don't have this card anymore. Well, you need to play like a very clever person. So these are similar, but the difference is that not only the type of traveling is different, but you draw a card instead of exiling. So that's a powerful one for card draw. And this one gives you compass and allows you to exile. So all of them will be able to start rituals, as you can see. Yeah. And then the last one gives you that compass, and if you discover a new site this turn, you may exile a card, which will be a fear, right? Instead of getting the effect from the token that you get. This is the scariest character. I'm not making any joke with the fear part. This is a character that looks like you're playing a different game, because normally we want to avoid fears as much as possible, right? By killing the monsters, when you are there, and you pull all the strings for that to happen. And then this guy comes in and says, no, I need the fears, because with the fears I'm gonna do my magic. I'm not sure if he's gonna do the magic, but anyway, never played with the shaman yet, never had the chance. So this was Lost Ruins of Arnak, the Expedition Leader expansion. I hope you liked the video to the point that you consider hitting that like button and subscribing. So I have this big playlist for board games, which includes the base game for Arnak and the expansions, and many other board games out there. I also have playlists for the major card games in the market, as well as the podcast, the Table Talks, where I'm interviewing people to get to know their projects, their stories, their profiles, while playing board games online with them. So I definitely think that you'll find interesting content in the channel to consider subscribing and to be part of this community. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the next one. Goodbye.